My name is Lukasz Stefaniszyn. I work in the Lego group, and especially we make the one project. It's called Cineo. I don't know, some of you know the Cineo project or the product? Yeah, I see that there are lots of hands. For those who do not know, it's price comparison tool or a place where you compare the products. When we started, or there was already the mobile application for the Cineo, but when we actually started to make it better and we started to develop more and more sufficient, we just faced this one very simple graph that we have here. I think that most of you have seen it before or know that what it means, that in time, when you start to develop and increase, make your new functionalities, also the bugs came up. When you will not start to check it or try to debug the code in time, the bug will be much more will cost you much more, and you just end with rubbish code or rubbish application, and nobody's gonna work with it. And to start implementing completely new one takes a lot of more time. So this is the first thing that we started. We know this one very simple graph, and then we were in the place that we had to support with a very sufficient number of developers, our team, which I thank them all for their work. And we know that we had about 20 applications that we need to support, and the numbers of developers was less than 10, or even less than 10. So in time, we would like to keep the new functionalities, less bugs, less complex the application, and lots of other very useful ones, and start to increase and start to create the same, let's say, sometimes the application for the other countries. So that's why we had the two topics. One, the cost of the bugs, and second, the numbers of the applications that we had to make. So then we thought that this is the solution, the continuous integration. I think that you also have heard about this, the continuous integration. There is a lot of topics about the parts of this continuous integration, and we actually done some of it. Not in the full part in 100%, but in some part we just started, and now try to integrate more and to have it better and better every day. So that's why in the continuous integration we had the unit tests that needs to be done, the integration test, and at the end the application built as a status after the execution of the build. So starting from the first part, we had 3 different languages, let's say it, for the Android, for the iOS, and for the Windows Phone. So on every site we had the same product, but behind there was completely new, different kind of code. So that's why not to have too many overlapping, we just started. Okay, now we had to start to make the unit tests. So for each platform, we just started to make unit tests. At the end, we also made the code coverage of the executed test. So this was the first part. We started to make the unit test, which was not done previously. Then, if we could start. Then there was integration test. We started also to make the automation of our test, so most of it we thought about the regression test of the actually done functionalities. This is, for example, one set of our test environment execution. This is written in the Calabash, and it's actually executing all the functions that we have in the regression part. Of course, this is for the real hardware, for the real environment, but also we have behind the infrastructure we have some kind of virtual machines which are actually also executing the same part of the code. So that's why we, after the unit test, then we just made the integration test. So just to test all the functionalities that we actually have it. This was the second part. And then to have it fully working in this, this kind of continuous integration, we had to have some kind of a tool to make it combined to those two, let's say those for now, for those two things, so unit test and integration. So that's why we started to use the Bamboo, the continuous integration platform, I could say it. And in this one execution of the Bamboo, we have the execution of the unit test, we have execution of the integration test, and there was also second part. We used the test flight, for example, to push our actually executed code and tested to the outside alpha test testers. And the last part was the information. Is it this build correct or not? So that's why every time we have a continuous integration information where we are and on which phase we are currently. This gave us this continuous integration executing most of the cases when the new code is compiled to some repository. So when the developer push some new functionalities to the repository, this continuous integration just starting. So starting the unit test, starting the integration test. So let's say every new feature integration, we know the status if it's not breaking our previous functionalities. And as I mentioned previously, every time when the continuous integration is executed, when the build is built successfully, and when there is a full running test and everything is okay, we just push this application to the tool. It's also free one, test flight, and inform all the beta testers that now we have a new functionalities. In our new app, please test it and just give us the information where there could be some other bugs that we could not face it during the unit test and the functionality. So we had, let's say, the third level as a system test of our executed application. And of course, we always need to have some kind of a measuring, or even though if we just went through the unit test, we went through the integration, at the end we had the system test. At the end, we are not always sure that it's bugless, the application. So that's why application integrates inside or use the SDK, the library, we call it in this case Bugsense. There is a lot other also very similar tools, but we use the Bugsense. So let's say every time when the application is running during the system test, or it was released to the bigger number of users, we could have a feeling about in which level we are. If there is something, the number of bugs is just increasing or let's say decreasing. This is the first thing that we know. Is it some kind of a very crappy thing and we just have to make the very fast hotfix just to not to lose the users. So that's why in this case, at the end, we use the Bugsense. And this work and those couple of slides, there is only 5-6 slides about this, but this type of work took our team about 1 year, something like this. So just to make the full running continuous integration. So it's not like day after day you can just start to make it. For us, it took us 1 year, but I think it was very fruitful year, because after it, using also online application or tool, this Distimo, we could start to have a look in rank where we are. So that's why in every platform there is also other slides, but I will not currently not show it, but showing where we are before in this 1 year, 1 year past, and where we are now. So I think, and I looked at, there's a very big changes in the way if we manage to create or include the quality to our application, especially when we have 3 platforms running. And even if I say that we have also the Windows 8, I could say it is 4 application of the and the mobile apps. And I think from my side it's all. If there will be so many questions, if you're gonna have so many questions, please or send a mail by this, or I will just be in touch somewhere, just walking over there. Thank you.